I was still outside. Fuck it. Let me stop. Um, this your boy Reg in the building. Got my homeboy Try with me,
What up?
and I got my homegirl Ash with me.
What's
Uh,
good?
Today we are going to review Kelly Price's debut album, um, "Solar for Woman." This came out in 1998 on T-Neck Records, which was under Island Def Jam. I want to say. Um, it only it says on Wikipedia it came out with one single, like "Friend of Mine," but there was another single called "Solar for Woman." That was a single, and then of course you had like the "Friend of Mine" remix, which yeah, "Friend of Mine" that was like a big song back in '98. But we're going to talk about that. Producers include Hariam Hicks, Ronald Isley, yes, that Ronald Isley, Cause and Dada, J Dub, Jermaine Dupri, Stevie J, Darren Jones, R. Kelly, Harry Middleton, Kelly Price herself, Sean Smith, and Al West. All right, yeah. So I'm gonna let y'all. You know how we gonna do? We're gonna say what our thoughts, how we got into Kelly Price. I'm talking with Troy.
Um, I got into Kelly Price. I'm trying to remember when exactly. I want to say it was the No Way Out album. I know she did like a lot of like singing on that album. Like she came out with her own album, but I always thought she was like a great like soulful singer. Unfortunately, I think she went under the radar because of her weight. Like she wasn't like a sex symbol like a Beyonce or Shantae or whatever. And um, I remember hearing Kelly Price on Jay Z album, the volume she was on. You Must Love Me, that joint, and she
Ooh,
was in the video for that joint. That one of the early times I've seen her, and then like over the years, like seeing her on I'm hearing her on like on other like what the Heartbreak Hotel with Whitney Houston and Faith Evans, and like her other albums, and seeing her on R&B Divas, that reality show she had a couple years ago. And I always thought she was a dope singer. She doesn't really get the credit that she deserves. That was like one of my first times like hearing her stuff.
right.
Yeah, this was my first Kelly Price album I ever heard. Of course, I've heard her on the song "Heartbreak Hotel" with Whitney Houston and Faith Evans, as well as of course she had other stuff. Like I know she had that one song she did with Stokely from Mint Condition, and another song that they played on the radio a lot called "It's My Time."
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, I remember that show R&B Divas was on TV at some point too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. So when it comes to Kelly Price, I remember hearing the Whitney Houston song "Heartbreak Hotel" off the "My Love Is Your Love" album, which was a dope album by the way. Um, and I
Mhm.
remember hearing that song a lot growing up and shit like that. But a song that really got my attention is "Friend of Mine." Like just the cinematic of it all, which I'll discuss later on. I always felt like she was a pretty dope singer. Like I always felt like she was. It was like a nice bridge between like R&B and gospel, but not like reaching the neo soul. Like it's kind of I don't know really how to explain. It's kind of like reminisce. Like she definitely had that R&B gospel feel to her music and shit like that. I do feel that sometimes she gets scrutinized a lot because of her weight. I do feel that Ash, but at the same time, I definitely feel that she's definitely one of the best vocalists of her day, and she can sing down with anybody to this day. I don't give a fuck when no one says. Put Kelly Price next to K Michelle, they can go toe and toe together. Like I don't care. But yeah. So Kelly Price. So Kelly Price was a singer from that was born in Queens, New York. She began singing as like a toddler in a church, like a lot of R&B singers and shit. Her first, appearance, her first professional gig was at was performing with George Michael at Madison Square Garden. George Michael of Wham fame, Faith album, very dope singer. Rest in peace to George Michael. And so she actually got discovered during rehearsal for the Grammys, like by Mariah Carey. And so Mariah Carey, she introduced Kelly Price to Tommy Mottola, that sneaky motherfucker. Excuse me. And between like the mid to late '90s, she was working a lot, doing background vocals. Like she did background vocals for Mariah Carey's Fantasy. She of course worked closely with Bad Boy Records. She did Notorious B.I.G.'s More Money, More Problems off the Life After Death album, classic album. Fantasy off the Daydream album, by the way. Mace's Feels So Good off the Harlem World album. Um, definitely a dope album. But the song that she really broke her out there was when she performed with Whitney Houston, Heartbreak Hotel, which also featured Faith Evans. And Heartbreak Hotel was like a big song back in like '98 and shit like that. So that's when she signed with Island Records, and I think that was T-Neck. T-Neck was under Island Records, and T-Neck Records was the Ozzy Brothers record label and shit like that too. So just throwing that shit out there. And so Soul of a Woman was released in 1998 and shit like that. So yeah, and like I said, this is the CD right here. I don't like the album cover. I'm sorry, I don't like the album cover. It just
What's wrong with it?
you said what?
What's wrong with it?
I don't. It's just like Kelly Price is a beautiful woman, but I just feel like the album cover was just cheaply made. In my opinion, like I don't know if it's just. I just feel like it was just cheaply made and shit. I just never liked the album cover and shit. And I just felt like they didn't want to show her full body, so they wanted to crop that image, that kind of angle of her. Like you know how the music industry is. But
Yeah.
yeah, but that's just like my little nitpick of the album. Y'all know how I do and shit. So all right. So this album it has 12 songs with 3 bonus tracks, which were just remixes. So let's get this shit started. Track number 1, Don't Go Away Interlude. Just a little short interlude and stuff like that. Just begging her lover not to go away. Yeah, nothing really to it.
It sounds like a bad boy interlude. Like when
Yo,
I was listening to it, I was, you know what I mean?
right.
I mean, it has that bad boy feel to it, but so think it was a cool way to start off the album. You know what I'm saying? Kelly Price is a great singer, so
Yeah, I definitely see like the bad boy influence with this album and shit like that because a lot of
Mhm.
bad boy and like especially like Total's first album, like Definition of a Bad Girl, which wasted a good ass beat, but that's another story for a different
yeah,
day. How I think she was taking the shit, and I think some one of the members was saying some poetry, and she was taking the shit, and one of the other girls trying to call it. It's like a weird interlude. Y'all have to hear it to believe it. It's from the it's from the Total's first album called Definition of a Bad Girl, but that beat was just so wasted. Like I was like, Puffy, what the fuck? Oh my, that beat was just so dope. Oh, can't even find an instrumental of it.
oh man,
Yeah, the interlude was a good way to start the album. Yeah, it does give you those bad boy vibes off here. And I think there was like another song or two off this album that had got me thinking about that too. But we'll get into that later.
Right. Yeah, man. That was the interlude. Don't Go Away. Then track number two was the iconic Friend of Mine. One of my favorite tracks off the album. Um, yeah, this was just like I said, mentioned the late '90s was the beginning of the whole cinematic R&B, especially when it came to infidelity. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, I want to say
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
I want to say it started with Tony Braxton's Secrets album. I want to say it started with that. Um,
Mhm.
and so since then, a lot of people been like cheating and shit like that. And so this was like one of the biggest songs off that era. Very dope track right here. Vocally, I love the chorus. Like she lied, cheated. Like she was just going through with this whole fucking track right here. Like, man, this is one of my favorite R&B songs of that period and shit like that. And the video was dope too, but the way she was crying and they had a fucking waste of her mascara. Yeah, man, I love this song, man. Like, this is definitely one of my favorite R&B tracks of that period and shit.
Yeah. And can you believe that Stevie J produced that?
Oh, exactly, Stevie J,
Stevie
man.
J.
Niggas talk shit about
Yeah.
Stevie J, but when it came to this period, he was on his shit.
Yeah.
Even underground producer was trying to produce like him.
I love it. I think like it was a perfect single to come out with, and Kelly talking about her best friend, her girlfriend, like cheating on Steve, and her man cheating on her, and any woman could relate to that if they've been through that situation with a best friend with it, like they have a thing for their man or their husband, and I know a few women like that, like they've been through that with their best friend, and their best friend had a thing for their man, or trying to get with him and talk to him. And it's messy, and I thought that was like that's like something that's still relevant today. That's why it's like a classic song. It's like it's still relevant that a lot of women could relate to that, or even the men, like they probably was a part of that whole drama with their girlfriend and their girlfriend's friend or whatever, and just the beat was nice, and the singing by Kelly Price was good. I think so. It's a great song. And then the remix, just we can talk about the remix later, but the remix is just as good too.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely talk about the remix, man. Like definitely.
Yeah. Friend of Mine is one of those relatable songs for anywhere who's been in that situation. Like what Troy was saying too. Like it took me a while to let this song to really grow on me, but I'll just say Kelly killed it with her vocals and her delivery through this whole song. From beginning to end, it was perfectly well done. And I know sometimes they play the remix on the radio a lot than the original,
Mhm.
even though there's nothing wrong with the remix too. But yeah, 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 those are good song here.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. And like we said, we're gonna talk about the. See, that was back when niggas can make good remixes. Like
Yeah.
niggas can make good R&B remixes, but then the remix would have like a touch of hip hop. Without it, it
Mhm.
was balanced at that time. I miss shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
However, I do like that Tiana Taylor remix she did with Ghost and Method Man. That was like one of the best remixes I've heard in a
I know.
while. You said what?
Yeah, that was good. I like
Yeah.
that was a good song.
Mhm. Yeah, we got to talk about that album one day though. I got a lot of shit to say. Um, then we're gonna get to Secret Love. Mm. Another song where she just carries vocally, and it's just one of those dope songs. Yeah, this was produced by Darren Jones. Darren Jones, y'all should know who he is. He's a member of 112. He's a very dope producer, very slept on producer as well too, and shit. Again, the whole bad boy connection is heavy on this album, man. Like dead ass. Yeah,
Mhm.
very dope track right here.
Yeah, that was dope. A nice mid tempo track by Deron and Deron. I think he used to produce stuff for 112 as well.
Yeah, he
And
did.
def yeah, definitely a dope song and Kelly, singing about like she doesn't want to hide this love that she had for this person. She wants the world to know, and I thought that was like a great track. Beautiful singing, a solid track on it.
I agree with you heavily, man. Like, I just love the way she was just flowing on this track, that ass.
Secret Love, it was a good track. It was a good track, even though I don't consider it as a favorite of mine, but good good mid tempo track here that she did a phenomenal job on.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely agree
Hmm.
with you on that. And then we have the next track, which is um, "Don't Say Goodbye." Whew. She actually produced this track right here. Vocally, I'll have to say this is the best song vocally on this project. Um, yeah, man, like she definitely. This is one of those songs where she's pleading with a lover not to leave her and shit like that. And even despite the problems and shit, and I kind of like how this album is sequenced very well too. Cause it starts off with "Friend of Mine," then it gets to "Secret Love," and I was telling "Don't Say Goodbye." I like the way this album is sequenced and shit. So, there's this one line where she says, "All these problems we've been through, they're making our love strong. We gotta hang in there just a little while. For every tear we've cried, we will wear a smile. Don't say goodbye." Like, that shit is so very poetic. Cause I love the way she did that shit. And she's a very dope producer too. Like, very dope producer. So yeah, "Don't Say Goodbye." One of my favorite tracks off this album.
Yeah, it had a nice slow beat. It's nice ballad, beautiful singing by R.Kelly. I think she's at her best when she does like these mid tempo to type of ballad song. Just a beautiful song track.
Yeah, definitely agree with you. Definitely.
Don't Say Goodbye is a favorite track off the album that I like so much, and it's just so relatable for anyone who's been in those kind of relationships. Like, yeah, that significant other wants to like call it quits, but you don't want them to leave, and it's like whoever the person is, their partner or significant other, like to just stay, just stick it out. Like, if we've been through so many problems before, then we can get through anything. So that's what I
Mhm.
got from this song.
Right. All right. So we're gonna get to the next song, which is "Kiss Test." Um, Pretty cool song. Not as strong as the previous three. I'll get into that, but it was a pretty cute song and shit like that. Yeah,
I thought it was dope. I like the beat. It's one of the few songs on here that's like real fast track danceable. The DJ scratching, the bass line was dope. It sounded like Diddy produced it. Um, where she says, if your love is true, I'll give to you my very best. Just pass this one test, and talking about the kiss test with the guy, and thought it was a cool track. Definitely enjoyed it.
yeah, I see what y'all saying about this one.
Yeah, Kiss Test was an okay song right here. I mean, it was like a good upbeat track and all, and it was cute. It's like I don't know, like that, like certain songs that artists be doing that come off as innocent or whatever, and it's kind of like that.
Mm, I definitely see your point. Definitely. Now, track number six, "Solar from Woman." This is possibly another one of my favorite tracks off this album. It uses the Tony 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 sample that we all should know that sample. I'm not even gonna say it out loud and shit, but
Hmm.
the way she used it, she looped the intro like continuously and shit like
Yeah.
that, which I like that better and stuff
What's the
like. You said what?
What's the sample? 'Cause it sounds familiar, but I couldn't put my hand on if it was like a sample or anything.
It was whatever you want.
It was from Tony
Oh,
Tony's Whatever You Want.
Yeah, because
okay, okay,
you know like other people
Mm-hmm.
they like to sample that main that whatever you want. They want to every producer wants to sample that part, but I found it kind of original how she looped the original. Or Carlos and Data looped the
Mm-hmm.
original and shit like that too.
right,
So I felt like that was kind of interesting. And this was also a
Yeah.
single too because it had a video and shit too. Just throwing that out there.
right.
Um, yeah, man. I what the thing I got from this song is how a man should definitely value a woman and shit like that. Don't take the woman for granted. One of those tracks right here. Um, yeah, man. Definitely very dope track right here. Yeah, man. I love the line when she says, "Okay, if my computer can speed up, you want to make it right. You got to teach her soul to find. You will find she was everything your heart desired, but nevertheless she cries, but you never cherished her." And so those lines kind of remind me of Future, cause Future did all that fucking cheating and shit, lost Sierra, and now he's over
Mm.
here. Y'all know y'all know what I'm talking. Yeah, but yeah, that was fucking Soul for Woman.
So did she loop like the finger snapping also, or is that part of the song, or that was like just added in here?
No, no, she added the finger snaps and shit. She just looped that
Oh,
that da 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 that
right.
part.
Yeah,
I
she
I think
just the beginning of it.
right. It's a dope song. I like the melody to it and singing on it and like the finger snaps and the video like Reg mentioned like the video you have like like this one older guy that's he's cheated on his wife with another woman and she catches them in the kitchen together and then you see like there's another part where like a guy gets a woman pregnant, but he doesn't want to be the father for the kid. And she's pleading with him to stay, and he leaves like most men do when they get news like that. And I thought it was a great song. Like Kelly Price is saying it. Like this is like a to all the brothers is like a dedication to all the brothers that have a good woman in their life, whether it's their mom or their daughter or their wife or whatever. Treat them right because you never know when they could be gone. And
Right.
I thought it was a great song. That's definitely one of my favorite songs on this album.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Like, I wish there was a bigger single than it was and shit like that. But friend of mine was just that song and
Yep.
shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Soulful Woman. I really was not expecting her to use that Tony sample at the beginning of the song because that's kind of took me by surprise. But I'm glad she did it that way. And it is another one of those relatable songs for anyone who but pretty much she pretty much made this song like going out to all the men out there. And yeah, the message is very true. Like really, don't take the women in your life for granted, whether it be your mom, your girlfriend, your wife, daughter, or whoever. But yeah, but a lot of times that happens a lot, and by the time they realize that they've been doing something, that's that's a very heavy message to take in when you hear a song like this.
Exactly. Yeah, very
Hmm.
dope message and shit like that. And it would definitely feel right that Kelly Price definitely sung that track right there. Well, y'all can continue without me. I'm about to cancel this phone call right quick.
All right.
All
Track
right.
7, we got "You Complete Me," a duet with Deron Jones from 112. I like it. I like
Mhm.
it has a nice beat, nice pianos, nice bass line, another mid tempo track, and a very nice duet
Yeah.
with Kelly Price. And always thought Deron was like the slept on singer in 112. I mean, because 112 all of them can sing lead. You had Slim, and you had Q, and you had we had Mike, but I always felt like Deron, he was in the background. I did like a lot of the production for them, and he also had a voice, but they didn't really let him, shine that much on like a lot of the lead. Almost like a Ricky Bell. Like I always felt like how Ricky Bell was like
Sorry about that.
misused in position. I felt like Deron was like underused in 112.
Yeah,
Definitely a good track with Kelly Price and Ron, and showcasing Ron's vocal skills with a great singer Kelly. I thought that was a good collab.
yeah, man. Sorry about that. I had to handle something, but you complete me. That's definitely a very dope duet. Yeah, I don't like Deron is definitely an underrated member when it comes to 112 and shit like that. I definitely liked how their voices combined together and shit like that. Very dope track right here.
Yep.
Yeah, You Complete Me is another favorite track off the album that I love, and I'm actually glad that she did do this duet with Duran, and I had no idea that he was one of those members from 112 that I guess they really didn't utilize his voice like of course what Try was mentioning, like Ricky Bell from Belle Biv DeVoe and New Editions. And I feel like this track could have been like on a Bad Boy album too. So
Right.
like for 112 they would have used it for that as well. And it was just a very beautiful song, and it complemented not only Kelly's voice but Deron's voice as well.
Exactly. I definitely agree with you on that, Ash. 100%. All right, and so after that, we're gonna get into another interlude called "Soul of a Woman" interlude, which nothing really to it. To me, is just a continuation and continuation of a reprise and stuff like that. She's talking to some nigga on the phone. Yeah, I didn't really care for it to be real. This is one of those bad boy esque
It's like
interludes.
she's like talking to something. She's like, "Actually, never come over. I'm not gonna open the door if you show up." And then he shows up and knocks on the door, and then she lets him in, and then oh, I want to right my wrongs, and I'm sorry, baby, and all this other shit.
Right. I'm like, okay.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, pretty much this interlude was just I don't know. I feel like it was like too long because normally interludes last from either a minute or two at tops. But yeah, it was pretty much him like wanting Kelly, wanting to take him back and all this, and pretty much begging, and she don't want to hear that
Right.
because there's only so much a woman could take, and in this instance, Kelly was like Kelly was like, "No, I'm not having it. Like, I don't want to hear nothing you gotta say. Like, get out my life."
Right. Just ain't dealing with this shit no more. Fuck that. All right.
Exactly. Yup.
So now we're gonna get into her. Her. Yeah, another cool song and shit like that. Um, pretty much, I think the song is talking about how she's surprised that this guy is dating this other girl who is referred to as her, pretty much. Not one of my favorites, but still pretty solid and shit.
Yeah, I thought it was cool, like tempo track, like sang it beautifully. Um,
Yeah, her is it's one of those songs for women that's relatable because they because a lot of times women who have been in a relationship with that guy that thought they were gonna be with forever end up being with some other chick, and then in the back of their heads they're gonna be looking like, really, this is who he left me for her. And like because they know that the other woman is like not even right for him, in every possible way, whether it be just personality, how she is, how she treats him, or blah blah blah, or whatever. And it's just like it's a relatable one, but it's laughable because I've been in that situation before. So, but yeah,
Mm.
it was her was an alright track to me, but I only was able to put up with it because it was like relatable to me personally. So
I'm weak. But yeah, that right there is her. Pretty solid track. Next track, Your Love. Hmm. Probably my least favorite song off this album, to be real. I mean, it's not a bad track, but at the same time, it's probably the track I would probably. It's probably one of those tracks that I could have just take it or leave it. Vocally, like I said, she definitely did a thing vocally, but at the same time, it was just like, could have. It could have been better, but that's just my opinion.
I think the beat could have been better. Again, it's one of those like bad boy influence tracks. You know, you had Little C starting it off,
Right.
and you know Kelly Price. She don't. I mean, she's done like features, but that is it's almost like I feel like she was forced to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, like I feel like Puffy was in her ear, like yo, you got to put somebody that's down with him. You know, on the album. And Little C, I like Little C's verse. Like you said, when you said, I want a girl who can drive when I crash my car. I want a girl who can help me with these 16 bars. He had a nice little feature on there. You know, he's not Mace by at all. I think Mace would have been better for this track, but the beat could have been better. But it just reminds me of like a bad boy joint. Like it reminds me of like something that Faith Evans would have done, or something that would have been on a Puffy album, or like a Bad Boy from Family album. But
Yeah.
I think the beat could have been better.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it could have been a single, like to balance off the
Yep.
ballads off this project. But to me,
Right,
it felt like a poor man's version of "Told Us What You Want" feature Mace. That's just
right,
basically it.
yeah, right.
And I love that song too.
Oh yeah, def-
yeah, Your Love was a decent song to me, but yeah, when I was hearing it, it did give me it did have me think that it could have been like on a Bad Boys album, and yeah, the beat would have been a little bit better, but overall, Kelly really was the one that really made the song what it was. Even though Lil Caesar's verse was was a little funny to me when I was hearing it, and yeah, yeah, you could tell Bad Boy was all over this song here too.
yep,
Yeah, man. Like, and that's the thing. Like, if it's like with Bad Boy, they would have those certain artists like Mary J.
Mhm.
Blige or Junior Mafia that they weren't
right.
signed to Bad Boy, but they also carry that bad boyish sound and stuff like
Uh-huh.
that. And that's just the way I kind of saw it. But it's still a dope. It's still a solid song. It's just probably my least favorite track because it was just kind of like, yeah, we saw what they were getting into with this project.
Right.
Um, Next track, "Take Me to a Dream." Yeah, this is actually my favorite song off this album. Love that beat. That beat was actually produced by Kelly Price herself. Um, yeah, and it's definitely very dope track right here. Just so like this definitely has that like you found that love and shit like that. You found that love and you just want to spend all your time in that fucking love. And it's just one thing I like about the track. It's only one verse. I love the line when she says, "When our love is strong, before our heart went wrong, I keep holding on to how it used to be. So lay me down and take me to a dream. It's so hard to make it through the day without you." Kind of reminds me of Mariah Carey's "Underneath the Stars" off the Daydream album. Love that song.
Mhm.
Cause if you listen to like "Underneath the Stars," it definitely had that lullaby-ish romantic vibe towards it and shit like that. So, yeah, one of my probably my favorite track off the album.
Yeah, it was cool. Like again, she sang it beautifully. It has like a gospel feel to it as well,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I think it was like a more, talking about love and a more like positive type of song where she's not being cheated on or anything like that. Definitely a good song.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Very dope song.
Yeah, Take Me to a Dream is another favorite of mine as well, and she just killed this song right here. Like she did a phenomenal job on here, and it does give you like all like a little bit of those like romantic vibes. Like if you
Yeah, I definitely see what you're saying and shit like that. Um, and then we're gonna get into Lord of All, where she's pretty much praying like throughout the song. It pretty much has goes back to her gospel roots. Nice way to end off the album and shit like that. Yeah, man, very, very, very dope track. Like just giving praise to the Lord and shit like that. So yeah, and it's kind of ironic because I recently reviewed DMX's "Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood," and you know how he prays on his albums and shit like that. And ironically,
And
both of his first two albums and this album was released in '98. So just throwing that out there.
I made a mistake. I was talking. I meant the Lord of All has like more of a gospel feel, and talk. What's it called? Talking into a dream.
Taking Me to a Dream.
That joint had that one was she sang truly as well and had like the pianos and the Spanish guitars on that song and yeah, Lord of All had more of the gospel feel to it. I made a mistake. That one was as good as well.
Oh, you good?
yeah, Lord of All, I really wasn't expecting her to close the album out with a gospel song, but she she really blew me away with this one here too, because yeah, she's giving thanks to Almighty God, of course, because without Him blessing her with this incredible voice that she has, imagine where she would be today without the gift of song, pretty much. And it does give you those like full fledged gospel vibes for anyone who listens to gospel music out there, and she did an incredible job with it. No complaints.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Definitely. Now, the infamous "Friend of Mine" remix with Ronald Isley, aka Mr. Biggs, and R. Kelly.
Mr. Big.
Man, man. So this remix, I feel like a lot of people remember the remix more than the original, if you ask me. So
Yeah.
so what happens is Kelly's calling Mr. Biggs and shit like that, and the first verse is pretty much Kelly telling Mr. Biggs, Ron Isley, all of this shit, and then Mr. Biggs doing his ad lib like, I know, you like, and then once like the chorus is just that signature Ronald Isley like yeah like that signature of Ronald Isley singing, and then here's a twist. Come to find out that the man that Kelly was seeing was R. Kelly and shit. So this is when Mr. Biggs calls R. Kelly, and this is when they have their own shit going on and stuff like that. And mind you, let's just be real. Let's be real. If it wasn't for R. Kelly, I feel like R. Kelly pretty much revived like the Isley brothers for like the hip hop generation. Because if you really think about it, like when he produced Aaliyah's "Age Ain't Nothing But a Number," she covered "Back and Forth," which also Aaliyah covered "Choosy Lover" off the "One in a Million" joint, and then
Mm-hmm.
producing the "Mission to Please" album, which I still need to get my hands on that album. Just reinventing the Isley brothers and shit like that. I just felt like he kind of reintroduced them to like a new generation and shit like that. And yeah, man, and this is definitely not the only remix that they've done together. So yeah, very very dope remix. To me, I still prefer the original, but I still listen. I just listen to the remix once in a while and shit.
I got two things to say. Um, like when he did like the down low, down low, what I wanted to say, Dance or whatever, that remix. Where was I mean, we found out on this remix that Kelly Price is related to Mr. Biggs. So where was Kelly Price when all that was going on with Mr. Biggs and R. Kelly when he was sleeping with Mr. Biggs' wife or whatever? Because we didn't see her. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So she happens to like pop into the storyline where she's Mr. Biggs, like Mr. Biggs' niece or whatever. Or is God something? Is God
Yeah, yeah. Mr. Yeah, Ron Ozz's character is Kelly Price's godfather.
got it. And it just so happens that the guy that did her wrong was that same guy that was the
Mhm.
same one that Big's wife lost her go from the download remix video, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I think that's kind of like even for R. Kelly. I mean, we knew at that time that the type of guy R. Kelly was. I don't think I could see R. Kelly messing around with Kelly Price. That's number one. Number two, um, I like Red said it's hilarious that when you see the video, you see Price and the mascara running. I'm like, this is so dramatic. And I like the fact that I love the remix. R. Kelly to at that time when it came to remixes, he was like untouchable. Like if you needed a remix and you were an R&B artist, you go to R. Kelly. And I think definitely the video overshadowed like the whole album, and people remember the video for the running mascara and Mr. Biggs in the video and R. Kelly. You have like Ron Isley, ad libbing on the song, and then he's like singing to Kelly Price, and he's telling her like, oh, you know, call him up, call, and she don't want to call him, then she ends up calling him
Right.
reluctantly, and then when you hear R. Kelly get, and then it's like an exchange between Mr. Biggs, like a regular dude would have been dead by now. Like Mr. Biggs was very like soft and lenient on R. Kelly because he would have been killed by now if you slept with his wife and then you did his goddaughter dirty. I think the normal guy would have been dead by now. And he's like Mr. Biggs is like grilling him, and he's like, you was spotted with another chick, and tells us to him, and he's like, what he said, he was like, just because I'm speaking to her doesn't mean I'm sleeping with her. And I thought that was dope, like that nice little exchange with R. Kelly and Ron Isley when they were singing it,
Mhm.
and it was like real dramatic. It was like watching a soap opera but hearing it on wax. And I thought that was dope. And then um you have like at the end of the song Kelly Price is singing to R. Kelly, and she's saying that other chick that you were sleeping with, she was the leaf she was the leaf of your life, but I was the root to you. And I thought that was dope, and just a dope remix. That's like one of my favorite R. Kelly remixes. And the video as well. The video told a story, and they don't do videos like that no more for any genre of music. And I thought back then it was like, you have like a dope video that people will always remember to go with that classic R. Kelly remix. And I wish they had like expanded more in the storyline, and maybe added a few more other artists to it. Like, oh well, this is the girl that R. Kelly was with, and it was like maybe like not Sparkle, but somebody along those lines, and I always wish that R. Kelly and Ron Isley would have did like a album together. I think that would have definitely sold, and would have been like a dope album.
Shit, and mind you, like this is a little off topic, but R. Kelly was also messing with Shantae Moore in that Bitter video and shit.
Yeah,
Now that
yeah,
would have
yeah,
been
yeah,
dope.
yeah.
I think Moore could have been like a wife that was messing with R. Kelly when he was supposed to be with Kelly Price. That would have been dope.
Oh shit. I guess that's all of his
Mm.
inspiration for Trapped in the Closet. If you really think,
More than
if
likely.
you think about it, like the whole Mr. Biggs, if he would have not done the Mr. Biggs, he would have not done Trapped in the Closet. If you think about it,
Absolutely.
Right.
like,
He just made that shit too long though. That could have like all
yeah,
those chapters.
yeah, I like the first couple of chapters that came out in like 2005. after that, it got a
No,
little stupid.
I,
Especially the
I
pat.
didn't even watch it. I was like on the chapter where he was like he was at the chick's crib and like the parrot was talking to him or some shit. I was like on that chapter.
Uh, to me, the best part of the movie was like when he's sleeping with the girl and he's in the closet, and
Mm,
then his fucking this phone's
right.
vibrating, and then the nigga was trying to look for this nigga. And why the nigga open the fucking drawer? Like,
Yeah, like really, like why would he be hiding in the drawer?
Right.
yeah,
Makes sense.
Yeah, friend of mine remix. For some reason I like this more than the original, even though the original was good too. But yeah, I've never expect the whole with Kelly Price being a part of the Mr. Biggs and R.Kelly saga when it came to that, because I'm like, oh wow, that was so unexpected. But yeah, I liked how it is, because the song does make it look like it's a soap opera, like what Try was saying too, because it's like the more you listen to it, it's like, oh, what's gonna happen next? Like it keeps you at on the edge of your seat pretty much throughout the whole song, and
right.
yeah, yeah, I love that too. But yeah, I'm gonna be a little off topic, but yeah, that whole trapped in the closet thing, that was funny. Like certain parts of that was funny to me when R. Kelly was the pimp, the stuttering pimp in the trap.
Rufus. Oh man.
Yeah, remember?
Yeah, that's when I fell off trapped in the closet.
What?
I mean, it
You
was
ain't like that?
that was when I was like, he just writing shit just to write shit at that point.
But it was like he was adding on more to it. But to make it funny though too. I mean, you can't be mad at him for doing that though.
Shit.
That part alone with him and the parrot talking to each other, I just thought that was funny.
Wait, who?
The him he, like when he was talking to the bird, there was like a parrot or something that at the woman's house, and he was like talking to the parrot. You
Yeah, I
know,
know.
remember on that part when he
Yeah,
was talking to the bird?
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that part was hilarious. I'm like,
I
this nigga just
forgot
writing
about
anything.
that. No, the part I liked was when he was the old man arguing with the wife, the one that had like that big belly. Remember that?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was so funny too.
But one thing, I,
Oh
one thing I
my
would say about "Trapped in the Closet" as a song is some of R. Kelly's best
god.
vocals on the song. That's one thing I would say about it.
Yeah,
Especially when them strings,
yeah.
when those
Because I
strings
remember
come
they
in.
played that video like every morning on VH1.
Shit, I remember seeing it on BET one night with my sister. We were just like, "What the fuck is this?" Like 3 o'clock in the morning on BET.
Yeah, it was like a music video, a soap opera, and a movie all rolled in one.
Mm.
Yeah,
Only R. Kelly can do that.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
and the last track is the Secret Love So So Def remix with Jermaine Dupri and DeBrat. To keep it a buck, I didn't really care for the remix. I'm not really too big on So So Def remixes and shit like that because a lot of the beat kind of sounds similar to me. So yeah,
that was cool. I actually remember that. I think there's a video for that remix too, if I'm not mistaken.
possibly yeah.
That was a cool remix. Yeah, Jermaine was another one that was doing a lot of remixes at that time, and some were hit and miss. So
Yeah, I definitely see it.
I really didn't get a chance to listen to the Secret Love So Def remix, because I was listening to this album on Spotify and it only stopped at friend of mine remix on there, and that was it.
Yeah, man, I definitely see your point. Um, yeah, cause
Yeah.
I know with this version it has both remixes on this version, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So, but all in all, this is a very good album. Very, very, very good album. Like probably one of 1998's best R&B albums. It has like a good balance between R&B and gospel and shit. I felt like Kelly Price is, like I said, is a very underrated vocalist. She definitely did a thing on this album. To me, this is probably my favorite album from her so far. Cause I know a lot of people like the second album a little bit more, but I'm gonna check that out one day and shit, you know. So, like I said, I'm glad I got this album. I'll give this album a 4.5 mics. Yeah, and this album was actually out of print too. So good luck finding this.
Yeah, I think it's a good album. Like that, like I said, like Kelly Price is like one of those singers that was, very underrated. With her singing and her songwriting, and this is like an album like of not a lot of fast songs, mostly like ballads and mid tempo tracks, and she didn't. The only feature on there is like the Little C's. She ain't really have a whole bunch of features, and she got the remix with R.Kelly and Ron Isley. That's my favorite. But definitely a dope R&B album for people that still enjoy and appreciate real R&B.
Yeah, this was my first time listening to a Kelly Price album, and overall it was very good. But I just wasn't expecting certain songs on here, like the one song she did with Lil C's, of course, and the one that she did with Deron Jones from 112, and of course the Friend of Mine remix from with Ron Isley and Kelly. I mean that was good too. But yeah, I really wasn't expecting this album to be really good because I was not too familiar with some of Kelly Price's work like that, and I would recommend it for anyone who wants to listen to the real R&B from the late '90s or whatever. And I would rank this album 4 out of 5.
Yeah, you okay, fairly good ratings and shit like that. Um, and it's kind of crazy too, cause when it comes to like best R&B albums of the '90s, I never hear that album get mentioned. Really, rarely hear that album get mentioned. But it is
What
what
were
it.
the biggest R&B sellers back in '98?
Like Lauryn Hill's Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, pretty much outsold everything. Um,
Mhm.
what else came out in '98 in R&B? Oh, R. Kelly, the R album.
Love that.
Ooh,
Great album.
yeah. Destiny Child's debut album came out that year too.
Did Case come out with something that year? 98?
Yeah, Case. Yep.
Yeah, that was a good album too.
Yeah. So '98 was a very dope year in R&B, like and shit, like R&B and hip hop. Period. Fuck that. But yo, um, so Ash, I was actually gonna ask you this last night, but I was so busy. Do you wanna
Mm-hmm.
do you wanna do like a top hip hop or R&B labels and shit like that?
Oh wow, yeah. I mean, yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking about doing it sometime next week and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, of course, with everything going on because of this pandemic, pretty much just gonna be at home.
Yeah, man. Like, so, my hours either might get short or I might not even work at all. But this is I'm not even gonna talk about that
Yeah,
right.
it's really affecting everybody's livelihood, man. I'm telling you, cause I pretty much had to apply online to receive unemployment benefits. So
Shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much didn't have choice.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Someone's knocking on my door. Who is
All
it?
right.
Crazy. They shut down everything.
Yeah.
My birthday just passed on Wednesday, so I couldn't go nowhere. You know.
Oh, happy belated birthday.
Thanks. and
Yeah, but
like
I just really hope I get these benefits too, because it just feels weird because I'm so used to having to go to work like every other day or almost every single day, and now that everything is just like came to a screeching halt, it's like, what am I gonna do?
right now. It's true.
Right. This
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
that's
I
what.
still got money in my account and all, but I'm not complete, and I'm not broke, so it's just like, you know, what can I
Yeah,
do?
exactly. But like I said, I'm not really trying to bring that negativity right now because, like I said, I'm tired of hearing about this whole Corona this, Corona that, COVID-19. I like,
Yeah, and then
oh,
and too, I've been hearing nothing about all these stay-at-home orders from the state and pretty much everywhere.
let me ask you this: can somebody actually force a nigga to stay home? Like, really? Like
No,
niggas will
no.
find any kind of way to get out their house. And, you can't leave a nigga home unless they're on house arrest and shit. Fuck out of here.
That's what I'm
That
saying. Cause someone was texting me sometime before we were doing this. They were saying like because with all this going, it feels like dang, we pretty much gonna be on like house arrest.
Shit.
but that's gonna be the problem when the summer comes, when June and July hit, and it's like 90 degrees, and these kids want to go outside. That's gonna be when the real problem starts, because they're not gonna want to be confined to their house.
Yeah, cause they want to like go to the park and do something fun, hang out with their friends and
Exactly.
all that.
Hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, and then too, because I know, because I've been hearing about certain places in North Carolina that have the stay-at-home orders, but for some reason, where I'm at, our stay-at-home order went into effect Wednesday, and it's going to last through April 16th.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
April
but
16th.
my mom feels that that might change, so I'm pretty much gonna have to wait and see what happens with that.
You said April 16th.
Uh huh. That's for the county I live in.
Shit. I think we
It's
got like.
crazy.
I think we got like April 20 something. I don't know.
No, someone was telling me April 30th was for people who live in I guess in the region where you're at.
Shit.
Yeah, that's for what I've been told.
Anyway, man. So what y'all know about Parliament's Mothership Connection album?
Classic.
My father, my father, I know has some of their stuff, but for some reason he only still got the CDs. But for some reason he ended up selling his albums, which I really couldn't figure out why he would do that. Because I'm surprised he didn't take that with him.
Oh shit.
I can't.
Yeah,
Yo, I
I
had
mean my
Maggie
dad
Green
had
on
a lot of
vinyl.
good stuff on vinyl too.
You said.
On vinyl, like lost. I don't know where it's at right now.
Oh, you said you don't
Yeah,
know, where the Parliament shit's at right now.
I
yeah,
had it.
because more than likely it's like out of print, right?
No, it's still in print.
Or it's just hard to come by.
Yeah, it's still in print.
So what? They just hard to come by.
I mean, I've seen it in store. It's in stores a lot where I come from and shit. It's in store a lot, but at the same time, I think it is hard to come by in some areas because a lot of Parliament and
Yeah,
Funkadelic stuff are kind of hard to come by.
yeah. Cause I was getting ready to say like, are you able to find stuff like that online?
Yeah, because I know when it comes to that their discography, that album is like one of the more accessible ones on Amazon. Cause I've seen that album for like $7 if you're a Prime member and shit.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and the vinyl is like up to
I
like
knew.
$20,
How much for vinyl?
20 something.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
But you were saying what, Try?
No, I was saying I had Maggie Green on vinyl, the OG copy, but I can't find it.
Oh wow.
It's somewhere around here. I don't know. I saw it like months ago. I don't know where it's at right now. So I must have misplaced it somewhere.
Yeah, you got yeah that OG Vine's a collector's album and shit. Yeah, but I was thinking about reviewing that album sometime next week too. Just I've always wanted to talk about Parliament and Funkadelic on the channel and shit.
True, definitely.
For real, like probably like do like a lot of funk albums, doing this whole quarantine shit. Like,
Yeah.
No doubt.
mhm. Cause that's
Yeah, I'm telling you, this whole thing seems like something out of a movie.
it's,
Yeah.
for real. We everyone been joking about a purge and shit. Well, this is y'all purge. This is what y'all wanted. The motherfuckers.
Exactly.
No, no, it don't feel like no purge. It feel like something like Outbreak or I Am Legend or World War Z. Except people ain't turning into zombies.
Shit,
Right.
shit. I just had a lot of plans. I had a lot of plans this month. That's all I'm saying.
I had
But
plans
I
too.
don't think
You said what?
I was saying with Trump, it's like you can't trust him. Like I still feel like he's behind us. I feel like he wants to stay in office. This was his last ditch attempt to stay in office, and he's evil. So I mean, he would be the perfect president to be like, yo, let's have a one night of people going out and commit crimes. They're doing it already. So you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
what other president would let you have a night of purge? I think he would do it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what you're saying.
I mean, I don't trust him to begin with anyway. So, but he's just so ignorant that nothing would surprise me anymore. And somewhere earlier this week, I was hearing some stuff about him. I guess trying to get this whole thing lifted by Easter or something crazy.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm like, that ain't gonna happen. Not a lot of places gonna reopen at at that time. Like, what he thinking?
Get off that crack.
I mean, that's stupid.
the, the government, the army knows something that we don't. I don't.
They always do.
I mean, I'm just waiting for for them to give the numbers for people who are recovering from this, because so far I've been hearing nothing but cases and deaths lately, and
They want us to be scared.
yeah, yeah.
Shoot, that.
I
You said what?
don't get no like regular people.
And then they said the NBA is returning on Christmas.
And celebrities. I don't.
You said the NBA return on Christmas.
Yeah, but what were you
Mm.
saying? Try. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Uh, anybody that has been or someone like what I'm saying? It's like I don't know. I mean, despite all the numbers, they can throw numbers out there all they want. I don't. Supposedly New York got like the most cases, and I don't know. I haven't seen nobody try here. So those numbers could be misconstrued and created by the government. At this point, I don't trust what they have to say. So they can say what they want on the news.
You right about that.
You
Shit.
know. I think they making people go into panic mode and stock up on shit that they probably ain't even gonna need at the grocery store, and for
Oh,
what?
oh my God, that's ridiculous. That's the most ridiculous shit.
You
That's the
know?
most
Yeah, I
ridiculous.
know one day, Mom and I, we went to the grocery store, and thankfully we looked out to get the stuff that we did need, but a lot of the stuff there was like buried, Like it was hardly anything on the shelves. Like when we went to the cereal aisle, I looked and I'm like, oh my god, like there's hardly any cereal over here. Like what the? Because they cleaned a lot of it out on the cereal aisle, the
Exactly.
juice aisle, the meats.
Took all
I'm
the
like, oh my god,
took all the frosted flakes and shit.
yes.
Stupid, stupid shit they're taking. You know what I'm saying? Like toilet paper, and they're taking all the
Yeah, I'm
frozen
like,
food. Like,
dang.
what you gonna do with frozen food? That's what you care about. Instead of taking water, you taking frozen pizza. Like, if the power goes out, how you gonna make that frozen pizza?
Shit, they'll probably make a light bulb out
Right.
of toilet paper.
You know, out of
Shit.
everything.
It's gonna be hard.
Shit. They
Yeah,
don't.
it's gonna be hard trying to do it.
Then what's even worse, like they took Cardi B's coronavirus post and they making a song about that shit.
Like, I suck
Oh
that.
my god.
Coronavirus. Coronavirus. Shit. She all
She's
like,
something
she
else.
all like, coronavirus. This shit's scary, yo. I mean, I'm not laughing at the video. It's just the way they chop that shit up. I'm laughing about.
Yeah.
At least she getting paid for that shit. That's good for her.
I mean, yeah.
Yo, try. Would you smash Cardi B?
Hell no. She talks too much. Nah. Like, she's not like Rosie Perez times 10. Like, she's like that ghetto Spanish guy.
Shit. I'll take Rosie Perez's voice over Cardi's and shit. I'll dead ass.
I'll take Rosie over Cardi
Would
any
you
day.
smash Cardi? Rich?
Nah, she's not worth it. She's not worth it. I mean, head maybe, but not a smash.
Oh,
I'm not trying to give no more
No,
call. I'm not
no,
trying to give no culture.
she on Instagram live to all your business, right?
Right, like I'll try to offset.
Yep. Fuck that.
That's too much drama on my ass.
mm-hmm.
Shit, but yeah, I'm gonna call this vid off today. I'm gonna call my mom before she goes to bed. Alright.
Alright.
This is a very dope vid. We just reviewed Kelly Price's Soul of a Woman. Excuse me. Make sure y'all check the album out. It's out of print. Thank y'all so much for watching this vid. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at MCRegMusic. Follow me on Twitter at RealReg1. And subscribe and like this vid. All of a sudden, it's your boy Reg. We hope you and y'all stay safe. Peace.